This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good afternoon, and welcome to the Clear Lines training session. I am your host, Kipp Cohen. I am here for the next 60 minutes to go over the Clear Lines indicator running on the Medved Trader platform. Sorry, guys, getting a little comfortable. Here to answer your questions and provide you with an overview of Clear Lines. This session is recorded and will become available to you later on the Equity-Alerts YouTube page. This is a twice weekly session, every Tuesday and Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern. Although I was not here this past Tuesday, I was out of town, but I'm back. Today, I want to start by just giving, I know I have some new viewers in today. I want to give you a quick overview of the clear lines and my background and how they were developed and why and all that good stuff. If you do have specific questions for me, please do not hesitate to submit them through the GoToMeeting player. Be happy to answer any question about clear lines, about Medved, about trading in general, about Equity Alerts, my other company. So again, my name is Kipp Cohen. I was with the company WiseTrade for 17 plus years. And just over a year ago, they closed their doors for good when their most recent owners, Ally Bank / Ally Invest, made a business decision to close down the company. I made a decision to do two different things. I joined forces with Jim Chanel and Lindsay Perry, both former WiseTrade customers. I joined forces with them in equity-alerts.com. That is a active trading alert service where we offer market commentary from 30 minutes before market open to market close, providing trade alerts throughout the day, including earnings plays overnight, options trades, poppers and droppers, and pretty much anything we can find moving. We're constantly looking. And then I also started a company called Clear Trading Systems. I have two partners in that business, software developer who used to work for WiseTrade, and a trader / developer of indicators, individual. She's one of my partners. And so our initial first product / indicator was the clear lines. And the clear lines are based similarly off of the WiseTrade red and green lines, that buying and selling momentum, buying and selling pressure. They're not identical because I don't own the WiseTrade algorithm. I actually tried to buy it, tried to buy the company even, and they couldn't sell it for weird reasons. But my developer actually had worked on the algorithm before, was familiar with it, so we created something pretty much as close as we could get to it without technically owning it. There are a couple minor differences as far as my lines do have a little bit of not always as smooth on the bigger lights. Sometimes you'll see a little sharper edges. That actually more has to do with the charting package that we use more than anything that Medved uses for their platform. But the lines are extremely accurate. They're great. I personally think they work better. You'll notice that there are red and green arrows on the charts. Those arrows are trend confirmation, trend reversal confirmation arrows or trend change confirmations. They're also very helpful when looking at a quick glance. So that's kind of where I started and where I'm at. The clear lines, when I went to develop them, I had a couple different ways of looking at it. I could have developed a standalone program, but it would have taken a lot longer, a lot more time, and a lot more resources. And so thankfully we were introduced to the guys at Medved Trader, and they were already integrated with Ally Invest and several other brokers. And so we made that decision to partner with them as basically a point for our customers to be able to access the clear lines. And it has been what I think a great marriage of two different companies. They've been very responsive to our needs and our customer needs. Their platform has turned out to be just phenomenal. It does so much more than I ever anticipated. There are some subtle differences, obviously, being that it's a full-blown multi-broker, multi-indicator, multi-use platform. It does so much more. Thankfully, I'm able to create a simplistic layout, and actually recently learned of something else I can do to make it even more simplistic by locking things down. And I have a lot of my customers that want to just use a very similar layout to what you see right here. They just want to look at the historical trend, the long, mid, and short. They want to look at a couple of intraday charts, and that's it. They don't want to see anything else. I actually have quite a few traders that are just using the clear lines alone and nothing else. And you can definitely do that, or you can make it more technical. And that was one of the huge advantages to using the Medved platform. It gives us the ability to turn on and turn off price charts or candlesticks. We can turn them on, turn them off quickly, and we can overlay and add a multitude of different technical indicators. Over the last year, we've been refining. We're finding different indicators that we like and that tend to work well with our trade styles. But there's still a few that just go back to the lines only. And actually, most recently, we have a trader by the name Kenny that strictly uses two charts, daily and a 10-minute. And he trades a handful of stocks, and he just looks at the clear lines, and he has a very specific strategy that he's had a tremendous amount of success with. Stephen Bielby's been testing it and is seeing some success with it. We'll discuss that a little bit as well. There are two charts on the software. On the right, you'll notice is what's called, again, the historical chart. I can switch between the monthly, a weekly, and a daily pretty quickly. Hold on, I need to do something real quick. Let me just reload. but I can switch very quickly between different time frames. I can switch very quickly between different stocks. One of the things that I do for my new users is when you sign up for the Clear Lines, I will remote in to your computer with you on the phone and will assist you in setting up a couple of layouts. And oops, hold on one second. Anyway, I assist with different layouts and help you to create something that is simple to use, something that you're gonna like, and oops, make it customizable for you. I provide ongoing support, and hold on, where is that? I provide ongoing support for my customers, and again, assist you with okay, sorry. I just had to do something real quick. With finding a layout that works best for you. All right, so you'll notice I have some hotkeys here so I can flip in between different time frames. I have different symbols in my watch list so I can switch between stocks quickly. And the program connects through a multitude of different brokers. So I have the ability to log into multiple trading accounts. And not only can you trade stocks, but you can trade options, you can trade futures, you can trade Forex, and you can trade Bitcoins even if you have a Bitcoin broker. But all of these different brokers that you see on this list are connected to Medved and allow you to trade directly through the software. For those that want to get comfortable at first, there is even the ability to paper trade through a couple of different brokers. You can paper trade actually real time with Webull, or delayed on stocks through Interactive Brokers. Unless you have a live Interactive Brokers account, then you can get a live demo account through them. And you can get a real-time Forex demo account through Interactive Brokers also to practice trade. And then if you want to do that with, I'm not sure about cryptocurrencies. There may be a broker that offers demo trading. But for those of you just wanting to learn the platform and understand how it works and how to get in and get out, that is an option that is available. Any questions at this point before I continue on? Any questions at this point? Again, you can ask those directly through the GoToMeeting player. So as I was stating earlier, Kenny, one of our traders, one of my Clear Lines and Equity Alerts customers, he utilizes two different time frames. He uses a 10-minute and a daily chart. And basically what he does is he just looks for one second. He looks for stocks that are 1 or 2 days into a new trend on the daily chart, a couple days into a new trend, and then he moves down to the 10-minute and looks for a entry on the 10-minute in the direction of both the daily chart and the market. So, and he has a handful of stocks that he trades specifically with this strategy. I know Apple is one of those. So he would, like today, probably would not be a day he would be trading because the daily chart is still red on Apple. I'm guessing a lot of stocks are still red on the day. Actually, BABA, okay, here's one. BABA has a fresh green day. So BABA has a green day. BABA gave a fresh 10 earlier this morning, which would have given a long entry down in the 166, 70, 80 range. And it got up into the upper 169s. So he would ride that 10-minute up. And that's all he does. He trades mainly high momentum stocks, trades options on them, so he limits his risk. Add her in the money, current week or the next week, and focuses again on the daily chart, 1 or 2 days into the trend, direction of the market. If the market's going up, he's going to go long. If the market's down on a down day, he's looking to go down. And it would have to be red on the day. And then times in on that fresh 10. Pretty basic. We take it a little deeper at Equity Alerts. We don't focus on the daily chart or the historical charts. We focus intraday. And then we have added quite a few additional indicators to our charts. So whereas we do currently keep an eye on the 10-minute, that's actually, you can't see it, but it's off on another screen. What you're looking at is what's called my popper dropper layout. There are 3 charts, of which you can only see 2 of 2 different stocks. So on my next monitor off to the right, I've got a 10-minute time frame. Here, I'll move it over just so you can see it. I've got the 10-minute off on another screen. So at least I can see, you know, am I with or against the 10? And I have both Qs and BABA up, and then I also have my account view so I can see where I'm at for the day or what I've traded that day. You know, the different trades for the day. And so I've taken it a little further. I do like to use candlesticks because they give me a little more detail as to where the price actually goes. The red and green lines are buying and selling momentum lines. They're not technically price based. I mean, there's price involved in it, but there's more than just price. So sometimes price moves above or below the green line. So just to allow me to be able to know where that price is, I use Japanese candlesticks, and I can see where those price levels are. I use a handful of other indicators. On a 1 minute, and actually you see a half minute because that's what I start out with first thing in the morning in the first 30 minutes. By the way, that's something that we can do is sub-minute. You can do a quarter minute, do a half minute. I look at a combination of different indicators along with the clear lines. I'm looking at parabolic stop and reverse on a 1 minute. I'm looking at relative strength. I'm looking at 3 different pivots, the daily pivot, the DMARC pivot, and the Fibonacci pivot. Now, they're all based on daily data, but those 3 different pivots provide different levels. And then on a 3 minute, in addition to those 3 pivots, I also have Bollinger Bands and volume weighted average price. We like volume weighted average price because a lot of times stocks tend to gravitate back to the VWAP. So if we're looking for targets, profit targets, that tends to be a very good indicator. And then we also like to draw on I use the 3 minute chart, but I move to a 15-minute time frame and then draw the first 15-minute Fibonacci extensions off of that first 15-minute time frame, because that tends to give me different range points within the day where the stock tends to move towards, and helps me to see potential turning points. So you'll notice, like on this chart this morning, the Qs ran right up to the 200 of the first 15 minute. They reversed, came back down to the 100. They went up, didn't really quite get to the 2618, but you'll notice there's this DMH, that's the DMARC halfway point. It's there's 3 DMARCs. I'm sorry, that's the DMARC high, DMARC center, DMARC low. So it went to the DMARC high, kind of traveled along that before breaking out and moving up to the 300% extension, and then came back down to the 2618, and we just retested that DMARC high. But you'll notice way down here, and I want to circle it so you can see it. Now, I don't think there's enough time in the day, but if I was looking for a potential profit target, if I was short the Qs, this would be one point I would be looking at, because I've got a confluence. I've got the DMARC center line, I've got volume weighted average price, and I've got the 786 of the first 15-minute time frame. That will be a magnet that could push or pull the stock price towards. So if I was shorting up through here somewhere, that would be my target. So and then I'm going to just show you as strictly for an example, so you understand how all this functions together. But let's say I was watching this a little earlier, and I got my second arrow, double top, 3 minute up here, okay? And I'm like, all right, this is a good spot to short the Qs, okay? So I would put in my order. I can click right here to sell, or I can right click on the chart to sell to short it. It places my trade capsule. I hit the check button, and that commits the order to the broker. All right. And then once it's filled, you get a confirmation back on your chart that shows minus 300, meaning I'm short 300 at 185.61. The great thing about this software is there are multiple ways to make trades on the chart. You can create hot buttons like I have here on the quick access toolbar, so I can hit the buy or sell. I can go to trading and open up a trade ticket, and I can buy and sell from a trade ticket. And there are hot buttons on here, hot buttons for numbers of shares, hot buttons for clicking on bid or ask, changing the shares, changing the order type, changing the account. If I want to trade from one of my other accounts, I can do that as well. So you can trade from multiple accounts, or if you have one broker that if you have one broker that has multiple accounts, or you have multiple brokers, you can flip-flop between different accounts and do that pretty quickly. Now, it might start to get confusing if you start trading out of multiple accounts, and you'll want to set up account views for each account so you can keep track of it. But you can open up you need more monitors to do all this, but you can open up multiple account view pages and monitor each account and see what positions you have. Your only limitation is your real estate, basically. And then depending on your broker, you can set stops, trailing stops, bracket orders. There are multiple order types depending on the broker. And then if I want to set a limit because I think maybe it's going to come to my target, so I could set a limit down here. I don't think it's going to get all the way down here. That would be a miracle if it gets there in the next 30 odd minutes. I mean, I guess it's possible if the market rolls over and dumps like it did earlier this morning, it could get all the way down there. And for now, I could set my limit just in case, out of the weirdness of this market, something does happen and it happens to dump and sell off. I can quickly access that trade. If I want to switch into a different account, and I want to go to a different account and do the same thing. If I want to make a trade there, I can do a trade here. I could do sell, and then I can set a bracket order if I want to set a bracket order to buy. So what's cool about this is as you move your cursor up and down as you're getting ready to place your order, the capsule tells you how much your gain or loss is depending on where you set your stop and your limit. So let's say I set my stop up here, just above the center Bollinger Band at 185.86. If I get stopped out, I'm going to lose $54. Now I hold down my mouse, pull the line down, and set my profit. And if I think it's going to come all the way down here, I know that if it hits my target, I'm going to make $242. So then I commit my orders, and now I have a bracket order set through my LIMB account with a risk of 54 and a reward of 242. So that's almost 1 to 5 risk to reward. And then if I need to switch back to the other account, I can just switch back to the other account, and then I'll see the other trade in the other account. So I can flip-flop back and forth between accounts. Or if I want to, this is kind of cool, I could come up here and also load QQQ. And I could switch. Now what I have to do is unlink. I have to go here and unlink this because it's currently linked. And then I can switch this to this account. So now I can track the trade out of one account and a trade out of another account. So I can be tracking simultaneously trades from 2 different accounts, whether it's on the same stock or different stocks. I can track all that. There is a, I love the little hotkey that looks like a little fire, the flatten button. It's like, get me out now. So if you feel like you made a mistake, or, oh my gosh, the market all of a sudden is making a quick turn, or my stock's making a quick turn, and you feel like you just need to get out right away, that's where you hit that flatten button, and it'll cancel any open orders and then exit the position. There's also a button next to it that I've added, and it's also on the trading screen here, flatten. There's also the reverse button. So if I feel like, oh, maybe I should have gone the other way, or let's say I was in a winning trade and I decided, oh, I want to go the opposite direction. I was short and I'm ready to go long. I want to flip my position. You can exit out one direction and turn it, go the other way. We don't do that enough. I think we need to work on that skill, because I think there's opportunities there once when you've been in a great trade and then you get out because you see it turning the opposite direction. Using that reverse key is probably pretty cool. Um, so the great thing is that this platform that we utilize, this Medved Trader platform, it has allowed us to do a lot more than we could ever do with the old WiseTrade platform. We're able to maneuver much more quickly. We're able to get in and get out of trades much more quickly. We're able to make, I think, smarter trading decisions because we see some things that we weren't seeing before. We're, on the old WiseTrade platform, we also had Lightwave. We had to use two platforms basically. We would use Lightwave to get our price charts and to draw our Fibonacci levels and use a couple of additional, our pivots. But now we can do all of that together. So having it all on one screen, having everything together, makes that process, makes us more efficient as traders, and allows us to make decisions quicker and to react or respond much faster than we used to be able to. Any questions so far? Any questions about any of what I've covered or some other topic related to the platform or about clear lines or any of this? So the kind of the way our day goes, and for those interested, you can do clear lines alone, you can do equity alerts, or you can do a combination of the two. One, the other, or both. And I'm a big proponent of the combination, not because I'm biased or anything. Well, maybe a little, but I think because first of all, as traders, having multiple sets of eyes out there, having other people sharing ideas with is important. You don't want to trade alone. Trading alone is not easy. And so, we're constantly looking for ideas. We're bouncing things off of ideas from you guys back and forth, and looking for opportunities. So, and then we're all kind of looking at a lot of the same stocks and the same charts. Then that really it helps. It helps a lot. So the use of the alerts, the clear lines all together have been phenomenal. I mean, we've seen we've got guys that are just crushing it every day. Jeff says, I cannot locate where to see Forex or futures on the platform. So, Jeff, that's going to depend on the broker. Okay. So, let me just close these two trades out real quick, just so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to close both of these out. And hold on, let me relink. Okay. I want to make sure everything's back the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so that will depend on your broker. Like I get quotes from TD Ameritrade. That's what I use. By the way, you can use quotes from one broker, but trade from a different one. So like I get my quotes from TD Ameritrade, but I could be trading out of a Webull account or an Ally account or Interactive. It doesn't really matter. Quotes are quotes and trades are trades. They're two separate things. But you need quotes and you need a trade connection. So I use my TD Ameritrade account because they give me futures for no charge. So I can look at it. Now I can't trade futures through TD Ameritrade. I could trade futures through if I had a Interactive Brokers. I don't have an account with them I don't have a live account with them anymore. I have a demo. I could trade futures with Interactive Brokers. So if you have an account that is tied to Medved that allows you to trade futures, then you can do that. Same with Forex. So right now, and give me a second, I'm opening up Interactive Brokers. You have to, for Interactive, you have to have their platform open. And then I'll show you. And I'll show you how to do Bitcoin too. So anyway, so I can look at futures through here. If I had a broker that, and you'll see they do gain capital futures. They connect through Rhythmic, which I believe has Optimus futures, which is through Rhythmic, and Interactive Brokers. Those all have futures. And then Forex would be Interactive Brokers or, I'm sorry. Come here, CJ, get up here. No, it's not that time. Thank you. Sorry. They don't have Forex.com. I think they used to, but they don't anymore. But so I'll show you how it works with. So I go to my Forex list. So I need and then let's say I want to trade the euro dollar. So I click euro dollar, but I have to, one thing you have to do is you have to pull the data. So I have to go to backfill using, and then I select Interactive Brokers. And what that does is that pulls the quotes from for the Forex from Interactive Brokers from IB. And then if I wanted to trade, I can go to Interactive Brokers. And then I could, let's say I wanted to buy the euro here. let's say I want to do a market. Let's just do a market. Let's say I wanted to buy, or let me do it through a trade ticket. I could buy right here, and then you can see it filled over on my Interactive Brokers account. So I'm long the euro right now. That's in demo, by the way. And then I could set my stop and or set my bracket order if I want to set a bracket. And want to get out, I can flatten the trade. You can also do Bitcoin. And that you would go, I have a Bitcoin list. So same thing, I click on the Bitcoin, and then I have to go to the main backfill, and then I have to backfill using Coinbase, and then that will load the charts from Coinbase with, it takes a second, but it'll load the charts so I can follow Bitcoin. So if I want to trade Bitcoin, I could do that as well. But yeah, you just have to know the symbol, and you have to pull the data through that broker that gives you those quotes, whether it's Bitcoin or Forex or futures. But you can trade any instrument pretty much through the platform using the clear lines. I mean, you know, look at that. Those are the clear lines on Bitcoin. If I want to pull a historical chart up, there's the daily chart of Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin got hammered recently. I can go back further in time or less, more or less. Or if I want to go to a weekly chart, there you go, or a monthly chart. You can see month, week, day on a historical basis. Joe says, just came on, and did you cover that starting today, TD Ameritrade has no charge commissions on equity and ETF trades and 65 cents per contracts on option trades? Great deal. I didn't mention that, but yes, that is a pretty phenomenal deal that you can, commission-free trading at TD Ameritrade. So E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, and I think Schwab have all announced that. 65 cents a contract's a pretty good deal too. That's a really good deal for options. We do a lot of option trading. And then I can just go back to my watch list or my Papa Dropper, go back to my watch list, and then go back to my stocks. And that's how it all works. I think it's pretty simple to use. There is a little bit of a learning curve. You know, if you've used a trading platform like Thinkorswim or the IB Workstation, one of these other little more advanced trading platforms, the learning curve is much easier. If you are just used to the old like WiseTrade, there is a learning curve, but this is why I do these sessions. I'm on twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. I'm here to answer questions, to show people, show my customers and show those that have questions. Obviously, there's not a lot of questions today because everybody's kind of got it, but that's what I do this for. I do these sessions for my users in case they have they're not sure about how to use the platform. I've got videos, tons of videos. And then I do a little, again, I do one-on-one coaching over the phone. I'll get on with you. I'll remote into your computer when I set it up, and then I'll get you to kind of push buttons and get comfortable with the platform. So I kind of do all that to make sure that you're understanding how to use it and you're successful with it, because I want to be I want you to be with me for the long haul. And if you get it, you'll use it. Club Metro says, so you're like Tron fighting for the users. That's right. Oh my goodness. Only if you could see this little guy sitting on my lap right now. That's my CJ. Yeah, I mean, my priority is the success of my customers, understanding the platform and successfully trading with the platform. There are a lot of other things that you can do with Medved that I do spend a little bit of time in some of these sessions. There's some scanning tools there. I mean, there's a lot of, it's like I said, it's very powerful. You can scan through watch lists. You can, there's a really cool, if you're into candle patterns, there's a candle pattern recognition tool. There's, you can create, you can draw, you can create alerts. Like I can draw, there's like an alert line. I can go to click alert line, and like if a price crosses the line, it pops an alert up. So there's a lot of great stuff that you can do that if you just take the time to learn it. There's, I mean, it's kind of endless. Personally, I try to stick to a couple basic, I've gotten to the point where I just kind of just follow my charts that I have up every day and look for my trades. We had a great day today. We had some just phenomenal stuff. Lindsay threw out 3 great earnings plays yesterday. He had BBBY, long. He had STZ short, and he had what was the other one? Short. Hold on. Pep short, and they all worked out great. But we're here to help. We're here to teach. We're here to provide great market. There you go. See, there's the alert. So the alert just popped up down on the bottom. Apple at 220.06 crossed the trend line going down. And then it gives me a choice. If I want to trade it, I can open a trade ticket from right there. So if it breaks that trend line and I was like, oh, time to get short. So I can go, okay, well, let's sell it. Whoops. Well, it just ran right through it. Look at that. It went through that trend line and just dumped. But those are the kind of things you can do. You have the ability to create um, oops, there you go. Like I said, very simple or more complex depending on what you're looking for and what your needs are. And like I said, that's what I'm here. I'm here to help out, to help you get it set the way you like it and help you understand how to use it. Okay. Here, let's see what happens here. Looks like we're about to break the DMARC center line over here. So actually, we're right on the bottom of the lower Bollinger Band. Oh, clear lines is dropping. We actually already had a 1 minute down arrow. We had multiple 3 minute down arrows. And man, we're right on a big support. If it breaks below this right in here, this is probably going to dump pretty fast because you've got confluence of the DMARC center and the bottom Bollinger Band right here. And I bet if I fib the first 15 minutes, there's probably something else hiding under there. Yep, I knew it. There's also the 127 of the first 15 minutes. So if this cracks this point right here, we'll probably see an acceleration down. See, as we're approaching that Bollinger Band and the DMARC and the 127. It's kind of like a make or break point right here. And it bounced right off of it. Well, look at, see, it bounced here. It bounced off of the DMARC center line and the 127. We tested it here. We're testing it again right now, and it's bouncing. So this is some of like what we do. We look at, I mean, obviously right here, the clear lines gave a down arrow. That was in the last interval. So the clear lines gave the initial signal. It was up a little bit higher, and it was confirmed on the 1 and the 3 minute because here was your first 1 minute down arrow. So that occurred first. That was at 247, and then we got the second arrow at a couple minutes later, the 3 minute confirmation. And then now we're kind of at battleground because we keep punching that down on that bottom of the band and the 127. We really don't have enough time. There's less than 5 minutes to go in the trading day. I was hoping we see a little, the market had a pretty big gap fill today. I mean, look from the lows, we filled a pretty big gap. I figured we'd see a little profit taking here at the end of the day, but we're not getting, I mean, we're getting a little bit, obviously off the highs. The other kind of cool thing too is the platform actually has a clock on it. So you know like what time it is and how much time left till the market close, which is really cool. Oh, Now Apple's bouncing. So I should hit the fire escape. Yeah, it bounced right off of that Fibonacci level in the bottom of the band. But like I said, these are the things we're looking at throughout the day to help us in our decision-making processes. Wow. Look at that, we're getting a rip up now. We're buying right into the close. If you are interested in learning more about the clear lines, I encourage you to come back next week on Tuesday at the same time, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. If you have specific questions for me, I welcome your emails. You can email me at kipp@equity-alerts.com. I'm happy to take your call or text messages, 972-841-8886 if you have a specific question you want to talk about or have more questions about getting signed up. If you're interested in subscribing, and now if you want to see us in action, if you haven't done it yet, try a free 1-week trial of Equity Alerts. You can watch in every day for a week, see what we do, see how we use the platform, and follow along. I don't offer a trial on the clear lines, mainly because of the fact that you need a good solid month with them, and I give a lot of my time getting you set up, and so I think my price for the clear lines alone is pretty reasonable. If you're interested in signing up for clear lines, go to equity-alerts.com, click the clear lines tab. You'll see the information. It's $59 a month, or if you sign up for a year, it's 13 months for the price of 12. You can also do the combination of the clear lines and the webinar for $129 a month, so that's discounted if you sign up for both. Just on a sidebar, if you don't have an account with Ally Invest, there is an additional $19.99 a month platform fee that's paid directly to Medved Trader after your first 30 days, after the first 30. And then you do have to have quotes from one of the integrated brokers. If you don't have an integrated broker and you have to subscribe to a third-party broker, there could be an additional $20 to $25 a month for data. But the easy way around that is just to open up an account with one of the, you don't have to put a ton of money in it. You can open up a small account, $100 with TD Ameritrade or with Webull and get your quotes to power the software. But if you have any questions about that, please do not hesitate to email me or call me. Be happy to answer any of those. And I don't see any additional questions, so I do want to thank you guys for tuning in today, and I hope to see some of you again on Tuesday. I will see a few of you guys tomorrow in the daily webinar broadcast at equity-alerts.com. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you later. Good night, all.